No, I don't want to do the predictions again. Everybody's just so mean. Fine, fine. Let's try again. Alright, so it's been a year since we started these predictions that you guys seem to like. I don't know why.
Hopefully nobody takes them seriously.
But we're doing them again. The second round of the French Open. I can't remember what I got last year, but we'll talk about that, I guess, when we get the results. But let's go through the prediction for this year because it's a French Open, big tournament, and a lot can go wrong. So we're starting with a bang. We're going with Swiatek versus Sabalenka. Or who's going to go further? I got to go Swiatek. I mean, she's won the last 2 matches against her on clay. And if they do meet in the final, you think Swiatek wins that one too. So I'm going to say Swiatek is a better tournament than Sabalenka. This is a really tricky one because the players that I wanted to pick didn't qualify. So that's a little bit strange, but I'm going to go with Monteiro on the men's side. He's been really good lately, and also he made me look really smart in Rome. And then on the women's side, I'm going to go with Aryna, who's a little bit of a strange pick maybe. She was the #1 seed in the qualies, but I'm going to go with her to make a good run as a qualifier. I feel like I only pick out of 2 different countries, and this time I'm going to go with Russia because I think that they're better on clay. Players like Rublev, Kazakhina, you know, Kudermetova's been good on clay before. So I'm going to go with the Russians to do the best out of any country in this tournament. Now, French Open, aces aren't really a big thing, but I'm going to go with Zverev. I think he can produce a lot of aces and hopefully win a lot of matches as well. Spoiler alert. And on the women's side, I'm going to go with Zhang. She hit the most aces in Rome, and that is a similar surface, I guess, to the French. So I'm going to go with Zverev and Zhang to hit the most aces at this French Open. So this is a little bit of an interesting one. I didn't go with Djokovic, you know, I decided to go Djokovic-Alcaraz because those 2 guys I feel like are the favorites to win this tournament. I'm going to go with Djokovic. I think he's going to be better than Alcaraz at this tournament. Even though he's playing terrible, Alcaraz still is been injured. So I'm going to go with Djokovic to have a better tournament at this French Open. So for unseeded players, I've got to go with Struff. I can't believe he's not seeded. He's so dangerous. He had such a good clay court season, as he does every single season, it seems. On the women's side, I've got to go with Badosa. I feel like she's just starting to get into some form, and with her healthiness, if she stays healthy and doesn't get injured, I reckon she could do some damage. So I'm going to go with Struff and Badosa to be the unseeded danger players. Now the upsets. This is a little bit of a tricky one, but maybe it's obvious. Let me know down in the comments below who you pick. I'm going to go Dimitrov. He had a bit of a wrist problem the last couple of weeks, and it seemed like it did affect his tennis, so he might lose early because of that. And on the women's side, I'm going to go with Sakkari. Her Grand Slam record alone is enough to pick her. She might do well on clay. She might be better on clay, and I hope she does, but I don't know. I just think that at Grand Slam, she's got some mental block, so I think they're going to lose early in this tournament out of the top 10. All right, so the lower ranked seeds that I think are going to have a run, I'm going to go with Jarry in this one. He is in the Sinner section of the draw, which is not ideal, considering that if Sinner's not hurt, he's probably going to demolish a lot of guys, but it is on clay, and Jarry's been informed, so I'm going to go Jarry on the men's side, and I'm going to go with Kazakhina, just because she's my favorite player, and I couldn't think of anybody else. Alright, so this is a little bit different. Tsitsipas and Zverev. I'm going to go with Zverev in this one. I think Zverev will do better than Tsitsipas at this event. I think Zverev's a little bit more reliable than Tsitsipas as well, and also he just won Rome. So I'm going to go with Zverev to do better than Steph. Alright, so my hot take for the event, Grand Slam Novak will appear. We haven't seen Grand Slam Novak, even at the Australian Open. He didn't look great this year, but I think Grand Slam Novak is back. And I know that he lost last week in Geneva, very upset, but that wasn't Grand Slam Novak. I reckon Grand Slam Djokovic will be back. That is my hot take, and he will do some real damage. So the semi-final lineups, always tricky, but let's go through them anyway. I'm going to go with Djokovic versus Zverev up the top half of the draw. No surprise if you've been listening to my predictions so far. I've been picking those guys a lot. And on the bottom half of the draw, I'm going to go with the Alcaraz versus Jarry. I reckon Jarry might be able to take out Sinner or maybe take Sinner's spot. And on the women's side, at the top, I'm going to go with Swiatek versus Goff. Goff has only lost to Swiatek at the French Open the last 2 years. And in the bottom half, I'm going to go with Rybakina versus Kazakhina. I don't know why, but I don't think Sabalenka is going to do as well as she did last year. All right, and the big one. Who is going to win this year's French Open? Just copy and paste my answers. Djokovic, Swiatek. That's who I think's going to win. I'm very confident with Swiatek. I don't think anyone's going to bet against Swiatek. Maybe you can make an argument for 2 of the other 3. Maybe. Djokovic on the men's side. I mean, I believe in Grand Slam Nole. I'm going to die on this hill.
I believe in Nole.
I believe.
I'm a believer.
There it is. Let me know down in the comments below. What are your predictions for this French Open? And by the way, some of you have been asking, where is the reaction video? We're going to do a reaction video on the main channel at the end of the clay season. So after the French Open, Madrid, Rome, and the French Open, we're going to do a massive clay court season reaction to all my predictions. Spoiler alert, they were terrible. But don't worry about it. You don't have to watch those videos. Just watch this one. And comment down below what you think's going to happen. And let's just pray that we get something right.
I'm a believer.